Welcome guys back to an AI dungeon adventure. This time we're doing something really unique and interesting here. I have teamed up with two of my very beautiful supporters, Sayian Shinobi and Tank-man. Together we have started out a collaboration adventure that we go through together as three separate characters. We just finished episode 1 and are starting to prepare for episode 2, so now I will read through episode 1 with you and hope that you will enjoy this. Since we've already done it, this will be like a pre-written video instead of me and the AI like playing together, because, you know, other people are involved. So we have already played through it, and now I'm gonna present to you what we've created. Just to clarify who's who, I am a character called Fallon Springwood, and if you don't remember, he was one of the members of the Blue Falcon, the mercenary team with Richer and Krayler from the previous series. I did mention him in Benedict's side story that one guy from the mercenary group got out alive and no one knows where he is to this day, called Fallon Springwood, and I'm playing as him, arriving at a totally different continent after he got separated from his friends. So this is directly after he's gone missing and he shows up in a new continent called Fhargram, and that's where this story takes place. Zayn Shinobi is playing as a character he created called Joyner Zayn, a veteran captain who had too much pride and selfishness so that it became his demise, and now he's without a ship, without a crew, and yeah, I'll make a video about all of our characters later, but for now, I'll keep it a bit mysterious. And last but not least, we have Tank-man's character, Jeg. Jeg were once a human who ran into the woods and found an unknown crystal which he touched. That made him become crystallized and turn him into a giant crystallized man that have no memory of who he was or what his purpose on this world is. So he works good as a tank, Joyner works good as a DPS, and I guess Fallon is some sort of DPS / healer / group booster, motivator. So yeah, with all three unique characters presented, let's jump in to the party of 3. The sun has fallen, the moon has begun to rise. The sky obscured by clouds which have moved over to the quaint village of Falkirk, and rain falling down upon the Inn of Sunken Ships, where the adventure begins. Business is booming, and the inn is full of people, besides from one table which is completely empty. Looking at a map gifted to him by kind strangers, a man by the name of Joyner gets a decent lay of the village and enters the Inn of Sunken Ships. He keeps his head down and takes off his pirate hat not to bring attention to himself, mainly looking down at the damaged blade of his scimitar, which at this point has lowered the length of the blade to the point it more resembles a glorified dagger with an overgrown hilt. The inn, single-roomed and cozy, is decorated with paintings of ships on the sea, many of which are sailing away from sinking ships. Large casks of rum line the back wall behind the bar, where the innkeeper is serving alcohol. The images of ships worsen Joyner's sour mood, and so he averts his gaze from them as he walks over to the innkeeper. Handing him 1 silver coin, he mutters, "Ale, please," Joyner requests, the bitterness in his voice confusing the innkeeper. "Now why the long face?" he asks. "Ale, please," Joyner requests once more, his voice more assertive and slightly frustrated. All right, 1 ale, the man says, while pouring a large mug of ale from one of the caskets and sliding it over to Joyner, who accepts it and sits down at the only available table. He begins to think about where he is. When his ship was destroyed, he was heading for the continent of Kedar, but when his ship was destroyed, The small piece he was floating on headed east, towards Fhargram. And the first country he would encounter traveling from that direction would be Odrar. He takes a swig of his ale and begins to come up with a story he can use as a cover-up with his momentary peace of mind. The door slams open, only to reveal a tall, lanky man with a tired expression on his face. His cheekbones are shallow, a clear sign that this man have recently went through something heavy and life-changing. The man goes by the name of Fallon Springwood. He sits down next to Joyner without actually acknowledging the people around him. "I need something to drink, some booze, something pure and strong," he states to the innkeeper. "All right, heavens, all these tired customers today. They are filling the room with a bad mood," the innkeeper answers with a frustrated tone. Fallon has the mark of a blue falcon embedded on his breastplate, with patches of armor covering parts of his legs and arms. On his back he has a green scruffed cape, and in his belt is one falchion sword on each side, confirming that he used dual wielding as his preferred fighting style. His hair is sweaty and unwashed, and all of it is gathered in one long ponytail. After finally acknowledging Joyner's presence, he gives him an uncomfortably long stare. "A low-life pirate, are you? Well, I'm not much else than a low-life mercenary myself. Just lost my crew and been on a fishing boat from Kedar now for 5 days straight. I feel like I'm barely keeping my sanity," he tells Joyner. "Name's Fallon." Joyner: "And for your information, I ain't no lowly pirate, or at least, I wasn't," Joyner responds, not making eye contact. The doors calmly open, slowly revealing a tall, metal-like being with a snout. It sits down twitching, looking around the room. "A warforged. Some fishing village," he says to no one in particular. Joyner averts his gaze from the large warforged, but out of curiosity, Joyner turns to the large metallic humanoid and asks, "Hey, you, what's your name?" Fallon Springwood says, "Wow, you look like a big chunk of crystal. What the fuck are you?" Fallon stares at Joyner in a very strange way, almost as if he's not talking to a human. Jeg says, "My names has been forgotten. Jeg is suitable. For now. I was once a normal boy, but my ignorance got the better of me. Found dark crystal. Never the same," he says coldly. Fallon seems to relax a bit. "You know, you're not exactly unalarming," he says. "What's that supposed to mean?" Joyner asks. Fallon Springwood says, "It's not supposed to mean anything." "Jeez, what's up with you? I was just shipwrecked and I'm not even that pissy," Joyner responds in a semi-confused, semi-angry tone. "Why the fuck are you arguing with me, and not this huge metal dude who just showed up?" "He hasn't done anything. You're asking for an argument?" Joyner yells back, the confusion in his tone being replaced by pure anger. "You both drunken simpletons. Stop arguing. It's not gonna get you anywhere." Okay, the metal man is right. Let's not argue about this. The deal is, I don't have any teammates anymore, and I can't be a mercenary alone, so I need a job to do. "So you're a merc then?" "Yes, and what's it to you?" "Damn, I can relate to that. No teammates, no crew. Not even a fucking functional weapon," Joyner drunkenly yells as he continues drinking his ale and places his broken scimitar on the table. "Well, if we are in the same boat, why not find something that we could do all together?" I can say, "I've been alone with no one to talk to. This may be interesting." "So, where do we look? I mean, it's not like some conflict is just going to pop up out of nowhere." Joyner is cut short by a door slamming open, and 5 men walking into the inn, wearing chainmail armor and with bandanas over their head. They turn to the innkeeper, who has now adopted a look of horror onto his face. "Oi, listen! Don't start with any of your bullshit about 3 days or 1 week. We want the money now," he yells at the innkeeper. I don't have it," the innkeeper responds. "What did you say?" "I don't have it." "That wasn't the correct answer. Sven, break his hands," one of the men says, a muscular man with a gruff beard and a headband keeping back his messy hair. The man named Sven smiles eagerly, pulling out a dagger and approaches the innkeeper. No, please." Fallon Springwood picks up his chair and smashes it in the back of Sven's head. Sven turns, staring at Springwood with a confused expression. He then looks at the chair, before grasping it with both hands and bringing it down on Sven's head. "Didn't even get to finish my damn drink!" Joyner yells as he picks up his wooden mug and smashes Sven over the head with it, knocking him out for good. "The common bandit should be fun," Jeg says. Now, with the upper hand, Fallon and Joyner rush forward to attack the two standing bandits. The first to reach the two finds himself tackled off his feet by Jeg, who quickly gains his footing ready for the next one. The next bandit swings his blade overhand at the Warforged, who simply catches it in his hand, stopping its forward momentum. He then twists his arm around, forcing the man to drop his sword as he cries out before kneeing him in the face. "Okay, let's calm down. We got your teammates. Let's not spill any more blood. If you let the innkeeper off the hook, we will leave you and your goons alone, okay?" Fallon says. The bandit leader walks up, a tall man about 6 feet with a muscular build, wearing the same chainmail, accentuated by various pieces of plate armor like shoulder pads, knee pads, and plate gauntlets, with a Zweihander on his back. "So, what do you say?" The bandit looks down at Fallon, and then at Joyner and sighs. "Ah, isn't that funny? Two puny little fox and that thing over there think that I'll give in to you after you just assaulted my men. Pity, you chose conflict and you'll get it," the bandit leader yells back. "Okay, I guess we need to fight this fucking Schweinder bastard together." The bandit leader turns to Fallon, ignoring Joyner completely. Fallon starts to look anxious as he's all alone with two strangers about to fight a tough opponent. He had gotten so used to his old team that he does not know how to act anymore. Joyner sighs, picking up on Fallon's anxiousness, and readies his scimitar, which now has the blade shrunk to a dagger's length, and stabs it into the leader's armpit. If one was not careful, it would seem like an accident, but the bandit leader's eyes widen in surprise as the blade goes in, and he drops to his knees. He lets out a small cry of pain, before Joyner pulls out the dagger and the bandit smashes his face in with the pommel of his weapon, Joyner stumbling back with blood falling from his nose. Fallon rushes over to Joyner and catches him before he falls to the floor. He readies his blades and prepares to face the bandit leader himself. As he grabs his weapons, Fallon looks at the bandit leader who manages to crawl over to his weapon and pick it up. He sighs heavily, watching Fallon with an intense glare. Joyner remains on one knee, grabbing at his nose which has already begun to bruise. The bandit leader crashes his blade downwards with a strike that brushes past Fallon's face as he dodges, slicing into the bar counter and missing Joyner by an inch, as he backs away to gather his bearings without the risk of being dismembered. They spend a few seconds circling one another, silence falling over the bar as the two warriors size each other up. The bandit leader swings his blade around and beckons for Fallon to attack him, which he promptly does. Fallon weaves between his attacks and manages to slice open the bandit's thigh with his sword, making him grunt as he continues to try to get a shot at him. "I guess I got to do something," Jeg says, and punches the bandit with all his weight. The bandit knocks Jeg's hand back, but he manages to trip him up, making him fall face first into the wooden floor. Jeg grabs Joyner's scimitar and presses the blade to his throat. "So, what do we do from here?" Fallon says. "Well, with your permission, I'm going to slit his throat," Jeg says. "Go ahead," Joyner replies. "Well, let's look on it from this perspective. If we bring him to the Baron of this town, maybe we can get a handsome reward. What do you think? Let's just remove all of his possible weapons," Fallon says. Joyner nods his head in agreement, and Fallon keeps a firm grip on his sword as the bandit leader begins to beg for mercy. "Please, no, don't kill me, please." Joyner Zayn looks at him and says, "Damn, you fell from grace quickly. 1 second we're puny fucks, the next you're terrified? Sad." "What do you mean?" he asks nervously. "You were part of the Claw Syndicate once, weren't you?" "Yes, but there was a reason I left." "Well, what was it?" The bandit leader begins to ramble on, and you try to keep your focus on him. I did something bad. It caught the attention of the syndicate, who sent me on a mission I didn't want to complete. You seem pretty willing to break the innkeep's hands, Explain that. I didn't want to do it at first, but the syndicate is cruel. They made an example out of me, took my family, killed them all. Yeah, we don't have time for this, Jeg butts in. All right, the bandit leader says frantically. Okay, Jeg, tell us where the Baron's keep is. It's at the top of the hill at the end. I've never entered it. Nobody has. So it's heavily guarded? Wait, so does anyone live there or what? Joyner says. Yeah, one person. His name is really complicated, like Fallon Mine or something. Jeg tries to remember the Baron's name. Do you know the way there? Fallon asks. Yeah, it's not too far from here. Like I said, it's at the end of the town. We should leave now. You nod your head in agreement and turn back to the innkeeper who still hasn't moved an inch. Hey innkeep, Joyner shouts at him. Yes, he answers, as if his voice had woken him up. We'll take 3 rooms for tonight, Joyner finishes as they leave. The 3 of them walk out of the inn and drag the bandit leader with them. They look at the horizon, and in the distance they see the red plains of Crimson Peak. They start walking towards it with the bandit leader in tow. After a while, the 3 of them with the bandit leader who has been slung over Jeg's shoulder enter Crimson Peak. As they walk through this landscape of blood, they feel as if they're moving in slow motion, almost as if they're dreaming. What the? Where is this place? Joyner asks, as a feeling of terror creeps up his body like vines, especially without a functional weapon. Fallon feels an unnerving chill crawling up his spine. He looks around only to see the grass getting redder by every inch, and suddenly, hilts of old swords and axes start to reveal themselves. They seem to be stuck in the ground, from an old battle presumably. At first glance he sees 10 hilts, and then 20, and then 30, and then they start to notice pieces of bigger weapons laying around them. The whole area is just one massive overgrown battlefield. We need to leave, Fallon hears Joyner whisper. Jeg, and you're sure that this is the only path we can take to the Baron's castle? I suggest you just kill the damn bandit and leave this field. Yeah, there's no other way through. The terrain is the only way through, Jeg says in a nonchalant tone. So be it. Wait, what? The bandit asks, scared for his life. You led us into a death zone. We're killing you. That's how it works, ain't it? Please, no, please don't kill me. Just hold on. Wait, let's keep him alive. He's more used to us that way, right? Fallon says. No, we fucking won't. We should keep him. Calm down, Joyner. He just tried to escape or something. No, he won't. Let's just keep him alive. He's more used to... Let's go. You guys are being babies, Jeg responds, as if he's almost immune to the creepy vibe Crimson Peak gives. Can we at least fast walk? Does it matter? Jeg says, annoyed. Whatever, Zayn responds as he starts fast walking to the peak. The bandit starts squirming as they walk past the rusted helmets and weapons. The bandit seems to be doing his best to escape, but it's pointless with Jeg holding him down. Quiet. Escaping will do you more harm than good, Jeg threatens. I'm starting to agree. Let's just get out of here as fast as possible. Thank you, Joyner responds. Jeg rolls his eyes and quickly notices a ghost with their head cut off. Then it gets dark. A black pitch-like darkness consumes them, and they can only see what's right in front of their eyes. This is why I said we should move, Joyner whispers. The darkness envelops them, not just their field of view, but everything around them. The darkness is briefly intercut by what looks like flashes of brightness, which become more and more formed as their eyes adjust to the jarring lights. Eventually, they form into the spirits of humanoids, looking as if they're swinging weapons at each other. An ethereal sword flies out of a bandit's hand, facing straight through Joyner's head, as what looks like a heavily armored bandit with the figure of a ghost tearing through many foes. "What the fuck is going on?" Fallon says. "This is the afterlife," a tired old voice echoes through the void. "When you die, this is what you get." The voice continues as it appears in front of them. "Many great and horrible men have fallen victim to the cycle of bloodshed, and the gods responded with this, limbo, a curse." How can we undo this? Is this some sort of everlasting curse? You see, we need to move on. "You can't reverse time through willpower," the being says as it manifests further. "Damn, enough with the riddles. Just tell us how to get out of here. We're not even dead." "Easy, young man. This is no trap. And I am no devil. But this is a cry for help. Please, save these men. They don't deserve this." The old man disappears. The being sighs, before disappearing and reappearing on the other side of the void, revealing dozens of spirits fighting each other on endless plains. The vision exists for but a mere moment as they reappear somehow in front of the Baron's castle, as if nothing had happened, peering at the old beaten walls around the castle. One of the spirits notice you and start to stumble towards you. "What are you waiting for?" the being says. "Thank you for showing us the way, old warrior. We will come back someday and undo this curse. I swear upon the blue falcon," Fallon says with a proud tone. "Thank gods everybody else saw that. I thought my ale was spiked," Joyner yells in relief. "As you wish, so you may now know peace, whatever it may be." And so the old spirit fades away into the darkness. "Well, shall we enter?" "I guess. No going back now." The Baron's castle looms over you, a black and grey construction with uncleaned corpses littering the battlefield. "Open the godforsaken gates," Zayn yells. The drawbridge lowers as the portcullis is raised. A few knights stand by the entrance with their swords raised. "State your business or go home," one of them threatens. "We managed to capture a bandit leader," Jeg says as he drops the bandit to the ground. "Yeah, we caught this bastard robbing a poor innkeep," Joyner says, pointing at the bandit. "Ah, would you look at that? Vandar Arinen, finally caught." The knight smirks as he peers down at the bandit. "You probably thought you'd get away with robbing the poor, but they always get caught in the end." The bandit laughs back at him. "A common thief, am I? Hardly a common thief wouldn't have been able to evade your patrols for so long, and certainly not send them out to chase an enemy that doesn't even exist." "So, could we see the Baron? We would like to meet him before passing Vandar over to you," Fallon says. "We'll come with you, but just to the throne room. We have some important business with a drink and some rest." The motley party nods, and the three of them head up to the throne room. The three of them walk down with the knight and the bandit, known as Vandar, the hallways lit up by fading torches. They arrive at the door to the throne room and enter. The entire room is filled with a scent of old wine and luxurious foods. A long red carpet leads up to a throne with a black lion statue on top. Above it is a large painting of the Baron himself. You see him from afar as he gets up and walks down to interact with you, step by step, his shoes clicking at the cold stone floor. For a man who his people barely see, he clearly dresses to impress. He wears a long blue cloak with gold lining and a crown on his head. He has long curly black hair and a clean-shaven face. A long red feather protrudes out of his crown. His smile is wide as he sees you looking over the bandit. "And what do I owe the pleasure?" he asks. "This man was caught red-handed in the act of robbing your inns," the knight says. "Damn, you're a fancy introvert." Joyner is elbowed by a knight to stop him from finishing his sentence. "Lord Vallenheim has too many important matters to attend to, more important than wasting time on common folk," a voice says from the roof. to reveal a humanoid with a lizard appearance wearing simple clothing, walking across the roof effortlessly. "And what exactly are you?" Joyner asks. "A Craxil, obviously. You say that from clear ignorance, as if humans are the only race to exist." The Craxil gentleman responds. "Refer to me as Drisk Trozwa." The Craxil walks down the wall and to the Baron's side. "And this is Baron Wallenheim Horomux." "Well, we are pleasure to meet you. My name is Fallon Springwood. This here is Joyner Zayn. Don't take everything he says seriously. And the big guy is Jeg. He is a big guy. Either way, we're here to deliver a bandit fellow named Vandar. For a handsome price, of course." Yes, delighted to meet you all," the Baron says, looking down at Vandar. "And who is this big fellow?" he asks, pointing at the still stunned Jeg. "I am Jeg. I used to be human just like you, but that's a story for another time. Nice to meet you, Baron." The Baron stops in his tracks and looks at Fallon before looking at Joyner. "Joyner Zayn? Is that... What the hell happened to him?" "Sorry, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?" "His last name is Zayn. What happened to the Springwoods?" "That's private. Why are you even asking?" No reason, the Baron says. "Well, so what's our reward for bringing Vandar here? We're not leaving before we get what we deserve." Yes, I'll go get it," the Baron says before walking off. "Don't get pushy," one of the knights threatens. "What kind of name is Wallenheim anyway? Zayn is a great name," Joyner mutters under his breath. "Shut it, Zayn. You're from a family of traitors," another knight shouts. "What? I'm not even from this continent. Did you eat too many wild berries or something?" Before any response can be answered, Baron Wallenheim pushes over a decent-sized chest and opens it. "Well, go on, take a look." They walk over to the chest and open it, to find a massive collection of gold coins and other valuables, as well as a few weapons. Joyner immediately takes a rapier and swings it around. The knights tense up at the sight of it, but don't take action. Jeg takes out some brass knuckles. He puts them on and they fit like a glove. "So, this is what the future holds," Jeg thinks to himself. Fallon decides that he needs a couple new weapons too. He discards his worn-out falchions and picks up a brand new falchion with a silver hilt and a red-hilted straight-sword. "Yes, this is what I'm talking about. The rich deserve to live in luxury, and we are the ones who will provide it," Joyner yells. And that is the end of Chapter 1. Thank you so much for watching this new, unique project I've been working on lately, together with Tank-man and Sayian Shinobi. I want to give them a huge shout out for helping me create this, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I really hope you enjoy this though. It's really new to me, so I don't know if people will enjoy it, but I sincerely hope so, and we're planning a second chapter, so see you then. Goodbye for now.